Rise and shine, Rwanda.
Good morning. You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Ivan Magwene.
And me, Peace Quizera, coming up on Rise and Shine.
In our story of the day, we talk about career guidance and university admission. In Lifestyle today, we bring you book review. Well, all that and more still to come, but first we get to meet the rest of the team. Good morning, Stefan.
Good morning, Ivan.
How you doing?
I'm good,
It's been a busy week, I would say.
It has been indeed.
All right. I'm pretty sure lots of people are looking forward to the long weekend. Chantal,
Definitely.
any plans for that? Yeah?
I'm one of them.
You're one of them? I hope it's been a wonderful week as we're in the middle already.
It has. So.
Morning, Peace.
Good morning, Ivan.
You ready?
Yep.
Let's get this started. First of all, we bring you the latest stories making headlines in Rwanda and across the world. Starting off with our first local stories. Now, Rwandans have been urged to go for regular checkups and change their lifestyle to prevent non-communicable diseases. The call was made at the opening of an international scientific conference in Kigali on the role of multidisciplinary approach in the management of non-communicable diseases. This is a very big alert, and I think it should be brought out to people, Stephen, because first of all, I do know how many times my relatives or family or friends do go for checkups. And why do we have to go for these regular checkups? Because people only go to the hospitals when they are sick. Why is it so important at this stage?
Well, it's important because, as you hear, they are non-communicable diseases. So you never know when it can come up. And then with the lifestyle we have, the food and then the exposure to maybe gases and chemicals, we are at increased rates of developing cancer. We have diabetes. Diabetes is a serious disease because of the food and lifestyle. So yeah, this is a good move. I think nobody needs to fall sick before they.
Absolutely. Peace, have you gone for a checkup recently?
Recently, not really. I think I'm just a regular person, but I think I'm working on it, It's high time that we all get out of those comfort zones and actually get checked, because you never know when, they're non-communicable. They don't warn you before they come
as
up.
we all know, prevention is better than
It's
cure.
better
So
than
let's do
cure,
it before
indeed.
it comes.
All right,
And before
hopefully,
it
but
comes.
this is a message to the people, and that's why we're here, to let you always at least remind you that you need to go do these regular checkups, not the fact that you have to only be sick to see a doctor.
Still in the health sector and in Rwanda, at least 10,000 people are expected to be treated during the ongoing Army Week medical outreach in Bugesera district in the Eastern Province. Now, some of over 800 people who have benefited from the free treatment drive at the launch in Nyamata Hospital. The week-long drive is among the activities that the Rwanda Defense Force, RDF, is conducting in different parts of the country in line with the 22nd Liberation Day, which we are, of course, all excited about. But what does this mean for Rwandans? Over 10,000 people will benefit from this. But what does this mean? And, still staying in the health sector, what would you have to say?
They say to be patriotic or to liberate, you don't only have to get the gun and go to the bush. You can show your patriotism through different activities. This is one of them, and this is a very good initiative, because it's even under the Rwanda Defense Forces that are trying their best to serve their community. And for me, through this is one of the ways, because we know a lot of people that don't have the access, sometimes easy access to medication and treatment, and if they're able to show this throughout the Army Week, this is a good way. We have seen them in activities like construction of houses for the unprivileged or the genocide survivors. They have been engaged. We have seen them in Umuganda. For me, I think the Rwandan army is one of those active armies that we see actually that are part of the construction of a country. And this is one of the ways they display it.
Yes. Chantal, do you have anything to add?
Yes, actually, a lot has been said, and he has said it all. But
He hasn't said it.
almost all, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to say. The army has really come up and done everything that the Rwandans need to have. They are going out there, they're treating people, and they're doing the Umuganda, they're building for the unprivileged. It's such an honor to have these guys.
All right, there you had it from Chantal, but of course it's not only for the army to do, but it's also for the rest of us to do for the good of our country. So that's the message to all of you, to at least do one thing to improve on how we're living as Rwandans and to improve on the countries.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, moving on to our other story. Now, it is, of course, they say Britain is far, but you never know. People already have issues. But this is quite some good news. Now, Central Bank Governor John Rwangoma has said Britain's exit from the European Union is unlikely to have any adverse impact on the Rwandan economy. Now, of course, the referendum outcome sent shockwaves across the globe, with the UK's currency, the pound sterling, suffering heavy depreciation against the US dollar, and major UK firms also seeing their value tumble on the stock market. Businesswoman. I mean, you've been following all these Brexit kind of saga, I would say, especially
It's really
with the market.
too much. It's everywhere.
But here's the governor saying, well, Rwandans, you don't need to worry a lot because we won't be that much affected.
I'm worried as a Rwandan because I don't believe that that won't affect Rwanda. If it can affect almost the whole world, then where is Rwanda? But then I don't wish that it affects us. And looking at Britain as one of Rwanda's main donors, I am a bit skeptical. I don't know what is going to happen. Are they still going to step in as they have been doing? Is this Brexit going to affect them as a country so that they focus on their economy and leave the rest out? So this is a debatable
Well,
thing.
we've been affected by the falling and rising of the dollar.
Yes.
But what the main Honorable Rwangomba says is the UK, we don't use a lot of the pound here. And like he said, the dollar accounts for 82%. And then the pound is 1%. So we don't expect
to see a crumble on them.
not really.
Okay.
Maybe in other things like policy, like donor aid, but this is, well,
one would say also, because I'm a little bit also looking at, for example, migration. What I'm looking forward to what will be happening with migration. I don't think there will be so much change, especially looking at the fact that it has never been easy to get a visa to the UK. It has always been hard, and it quite amazes me because it quite amazes me how countries like the UK, most of the Leave campaign was saying about migration. Our migration is broken. We no longer have I'm like, you need to be in Africa or somewhere in the world to know what it takes to go to the UK, all right? But anyway, I won't have the debate. There you had it from Rwangomwa piece.
All right, and now earlier this year, Indian company Ringing Bell said it was about to put a smartphone on the market costing less than $4. As the company says, the first 20,000 handsets are ready to be shipped. Getting your new hands on the cheapest, of course, smartphone is not easy, but Freedom 251 is an Android phone that apparently in the hand feels somewhat like an iPhone 5. What does this mean? It actually feels like, and it looks like an iPhone 5, but it's less than $4.
Well, when it comes to Rwanda plus the shipping and everything.
Yeah, but apparently it has every single thing that a smartphone has, from the applications to the way of it being used. It has over 1 GB, and like 8 GB storage, which is like very good for phones. Well, I'm not a phone person, but Stephen, would you have anything to say about this?
Let's first do the maths. I mean, $4. That's 4 times 8. Who's the mathematician?
That is 32.
32,000. Okay, maybe let's make it 40 plus shipping. Okay, that's
relatively okay.
That's relatively.
But I think we already have phones like cost the same.
Yeah, we have phones that cost.
So these guys need to make it $1, not $4.
They need to bring it really
Maybe
down.
I should just give them to people for free because
for free. It should be like a donation. You people like free things.
I would like to see what impacts these phones will have in the rural
absolutely
areas, because these internet services are needed
and I hope they get here as fast, because that way the smartphones will get different people in rural areas as ICT is becoming a big deal in Rwanda.
And let's not forget that actually what is driving, one of the key forces driving Africa's growth is the mobile phone, because with that we have seen at least like money transactions, life is almost there, e-health. I mean, the rural Africa is more connected than ever. So I think this is a very good initiative. But let's make it even $1, maybe even free. Moving on to our last international story. A Ghanan bomb attack on Istanbul's Ataturk International Airport has killed 36 people and injured more than 140 others. Now, 3 attackers began shooting outside and inside the terminal late on Tuesday and blew themselves up after police fired them. Now, Prime Minister Benali El-Drelim said early signs suggested the so-called Islamic State was behind the attack. Now, recent bombings have been linked to either ISIS or the Kurdish separatists. Now, Turkey is one emerging economy, I would say. They've wanted to be part of the European Union. They are very growing, they're booming, business is very good. I mean, Turkey has been on the map in terms of the way they're growing.
Yes.
But here is the saga. They're in the middle of a crisis. They have the biggest number of Syrian refugees. They're close to Syria. ISIS is closer than ever to them. What does these attacks, looking at even the marginalization of how these attacks have been increasing, we have seen over like 7 attacks, bomb attacks, and most of them have been claimed by these terrorist groups.
ISIS.
What do we see? What is the state of, is there a state of emergency there?
Well, it's a bit shocking because Turkey is a country that has business relationship with many countries, in here, even Rwanda.
Yeah.
So that affects really, this affects the whole world. And this particular airport, there were comments that it was easy for access of, cars could easily access it. And the way these people came in, the security wasn't at its finest. So we hope that maybe they step up the securities in other places because these people, they've been there, they've attacked, and we expect more to come.
Well, we hope more is still to come, and a lot is developing on this same story. We'll wait to know what is happening, but we'll be bringing you all the latest details on this one. We'll be back shortly with the story of the day. Welcome back to Rise and Shine, Rwanda's story of the day with me, Ivan Magwene. Now, the season is now that most students are going for their college education, but it is common to meet university students pursuing courses just because their parents chose so or for the sake of acquiring a degree or a diploma qualification. However, choosing a course to pursue after high school ought to be given due attention as it ultimately shapes to one's lifetime career. So here at Rise and Shine, we care about your future. And that's why we chose to shine more light on this same topic and what you need to consider for your university. We've all been to university. Yes, we know at least, at least we've been up to, we've had a little bit of experience about career guidance and university. And this for me is very important because unfortunately we're supposed to have somebody from the AG Council to come talk about it, but they weren't able to make it. But we have to shine more light again on this one because this is the high season that most students are going for their college education. In your first place, I'll start off with Stephen. Your own experience, looking at it, what are some of the key issues you need to consider personally as a student before you even think of taking the decision to go to a certain university?
Well, from my experience, I think you need to say, everybody, before you finish, when you're in high school, you have an idea of what you want.
Yeah.
So,
do you actually have an idea of what you want?
yeah, okay, some people really know what.
Yes, some people really know what they want. They
And
say, I
some-
want to
And
do
some people
law.
honestly have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, but some have an idea. But if you say, if you want to be in, let's say, marketing, well, you should look for a course that helps you develop some of those skills because there are courses.
A course
related to that.
outside of school?
I mean, what you're going for at university.
Yeah.
Because we have courses in business, we have courses in project management.
Yes.
So it's about knowing a field you're interested in, the skills you're supposed to develop, and there are people you can talk to for advice.
Yes.
I mean, you shouldn't wait for like I'll reach there and figure it out. Yeah.
Yes, most students, for example, at university, some students that I've talked to, they just go for certain courses. Maybe the friends are there too, or maybe it's the easiest. It has the least amount of work, and people don't want to work. And maybe you're talented, but you don't want to put the work inside there. How much of work do you need to make sure that when you're choosing a certain course, you need to take your time, know that you're investing your energy, your time, your work, and make sure that you actually go for the right thing, other than just going for skeptical reasons or for some other reasons which are very, very funny.
Well, one thing I would tell students who are joining university or college is to look further. they shouldn't look at the course at the moment, because this is what is going to be there for their future. It's going to determine what they have to do in the future. So let them look at what they want to do in the future and then work on it.
Actually, a study by some institution in the US kind of shows that most students, you were talking about people going to university when they already know what they want. But that's why universities put at least the first year for people to be confused around and do all the other courses.
That
and
is
make sure
allowed.
still,
That is allowed.
Yes.
People can get confused, but you figure out what you want in the process.
Okay.
Well, we have career guidance, so we may not have that year of is it general happiness?
Yes.
Yeah, at least we have initiatives like this to give career guidance. So,
Well, Peace, I want to ask you this one. Part of your project of Miss Rwanda was trying to help the students get into career guidance and be helped. So far, so good. I would say you're trying, but I want to know what does it take to be guided, and what is the process of guidance, and why is it important, and how can people be guided in a society like this one where we don't have that much of people that have had the opportunity to also be guided, because it's not that easy to give away what you've not been given.
Exactly.
Yes, for sure. First, I really highly believe that this is something that we all need. Now, I faced a similar problem back in high school, not for university, but this is actually a problem that kids in high school actually face along the way, even before they get to university. Sometimes they're wondering, because at A-level, the subjects you take usually at A-level determine what you're going to do at university. So this is something that we faced, and I would say one of the things that you need to follow is maybe what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
What you actually would see yourself getting stuck with for the rest of your life. And what I would say is people need to stop being selfish, especially the people who are in places of influence, like people who have experiences, CEOs of different companies. I mean, you will not tell people that you need job experiences when you haven't even offered anything to the kids who are actually heading there. So I feel like it's high time that even the people who are experienced and even the people who are in these places of influence encourage or create awareness for different kids to actually take on internships and take on different sectors to actually get into this, and maybe let them mingle while they're doing internships. Where I go, maybe let me say to a journalism kind of area where I'm like, okay, maybe I don't want to actually be a journalist, or I go to a law firm and I try out different things. Let's mingle in that area, but when you're actually picking out a few skills from all these different areas.
Yes. Now, coming to my final conclusion of this talk, we've talked about this issue for quite some time. I would have my take on this one. First of all, I've grown up in a society, like a Rwandan society, where opening up and letting you take the initiative to go see the students. Sometimes people are so proud of what they have achieved that it does not allow them to bring down their ego and talk to the young coming up generation. Here's what I've come to discover also that is affecting the generation. Most people actually do have the skills and the knowledge, but here's what is happening. They do not have that inside them. And it is high time that I get to request also that people that have had the opportunity to be in their careers where they feel so good, or people who have information about this whole conversation, to come out, take their time, and let us build a nation, because I feel there is a gap that has not been filled, yet a lot more can be done.
Yes.
Well, that's my take, and let us know your take on this same topic. You join us via our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and let us know what you think about this topic. You've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda Story of the Day. Chantal Uwera will be up next with business.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with RSR and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back. Business Stories making headlines today with me, Chantal Uwera. A new market that seeks to promote a safe and better working place for women has been launched in Kimisagara sector, Nyarugenge district in the city of Kigali. Parfait Busabizwa, the Vice Mayor of Kigali, said the facility codenamed Safe Market is part of the efforts aimed at preventing sexual harassment against women and girls in public places. African countries have been urged to review unfavorable investment policies, including double taxation, to attract more investments on the continent. Kataomi Hirano, the Vice President of the Institute of Developing Economies and Japan External Trade Organization, said it is crucial for African states, including Rwanda, to put in place mechanisms that minimize risk and enhance investor protection to boost foreign direct investments on the continent. Economists have warned that East Africa's growing debt levels could push regional economies into financial distress in the wake of volatile local currencies and failing export earnings. The East African Community partner states are borrowing heavily to finance infrastructure development, but economists warn the region's depreciation currencies would increase the burden of the foreign debt repayment, a position which would be made worse by declining export earnings. And that's all we had for you in business today. Kalimba Steven is up next with sports.
Welcome back. Time now for your sports news with me, Steven Kalimba. Starting with basketball, IPRC South coach Charles Mushumba cautions players ahead of Friday's match. Charles Mushumba has urged his players to be more consistent if they are to wrestle playoff title from arch-rivals Espoir when they meet on Friday in the semi-final decisive game. Mushumba cautioned his players not to lose concentration and focus in the final game. In the other semi-final, IPRC Kigali will hope to upstage Patriots after defeating the regular season winners in Game 2 on Sunday to even the series 1-1. And in international soccer, Diego Maradona pleads with Lionel Messi not to retire from international football after Argentina's Copa America heartbreak. Maradona has pleaded with Messi not to go through with his retirement plans following Argentina's Copa America Centenario final loss to Chile. Maradona told Argentinian daily La Nación they have to rely on players who can deliver for Argentina more than the critics. Messi has to stay in the national team. He will go to Russia in form to be world champion, said Maradona. He added Argentinian football was at the bottom. And in England, Roy Hodgson reveals he didn't see Iceland defeat coming. The former England manager who quit on Monday after the 2-1 loss to Iceland said he was disappointed. He said, and I quote, "Nothing in the first 3 games here gave me any indication that we would play as poorly as we did." The FA revealed it was time to analyze why England were underperforming in many tournaments over time. England will open their 2017 World Cup qualifying campaign on September 4th. And that's all we had in sports today. Peace Kwizera is up next with Lifestyle.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwandair and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine. It's time for Lifestyle with me, Peace Kwizera. Today's book review, Hollywood power couple Devon Franklin and Megan Good candidly share about how their courtship and marriage, the key of being successful was waiting. Now, they faced with starting a new relationship, wanting to avoid potentially devastating relationship pitfalls. Devon and Megan choose to do something almost unheard of in today's society: abstain from sex until marriage. Now, I want to open this talk to the rest of the team.
The Wait.
The Wait is a book that came out recently, and all of us here in the office were waiting for it, like it's called. And of course, it's the producer who kind of introduced it to us. But I would just want to hear your different views on this. The books of called The Wait. Starting off, of course, with Chantal. What would you have to say about this?
Well, that book is really interesting. I've actually read a few chapters, and I like the fact that these two, despite of what they were going through as Hollywood stars and everything, they had to wait. And I like the fact that they are saved. It's so hard to imagine a Hollywood star being saved. And it said that the Holy Spirit was surrounding them, which I don't even know how to translate, but yeah, it's a good thing.
Maybe the Holy Spirit was surrounding them, Ivan.
Yeah, well, I haven't, of course. I was making earlier a joke that, okay, it is The Wait. And for me, I'm kind of not going to talk a little bit more about the book because I haven't had a chance to read the book. But I know that just the whole idea behind it. And maybe it's just more than even abstaining from the cookie until marriage. But also it is also about, the journey throughout that, what they went through and some of the hardships. For me, it is quite, we all have stereotypes that, Hollywood stars have this kind of high life that they're supposed to be involved in sex and everything. But I think this book goes beyond that to explore their life.
The stereotypes,
yes,
actually.
and breaks the stereotype and all these kind of thinkings we have about Hollywood. And also it kind of brings out that actually it can happen. Most of the girls think that these days, there's this thing, all men are the same. Girls, you have not tested all men. Stop saying all men.
We don't have
this
to
book
test
is
all.
particularly about not testing. But I was trying to correct
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
But well, it's interesting that this is coming from Megan Good. I mean, watched many movies and was where she was.
She's fine.
She's fine, and well, She saved. That's great.
See, this is
Yeah.
the thing. Now, this book kind of goes into details to, take us through the whole progress through they went through before they actually wrote the book. Now, we understand that Megan Good had enough of Hollywood stars dating all the time, and she needed that time for herself where she's not seeing anybody, where she's just her and herself and being peaceful for her. So she decides to go, celebrate for a few years, and she met him when she was 2 years along the way. And I'm just taking you through a little bit of the story. And for him, he had actually been abstaining for over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I don't know
10
what that
years?
means for
10
guys, but he had been waiting for over
It
10
means
years,
it's
which is
possible.
Yeah.
it is possible. That's
It
the thing.
is,
It is possible, and
been for
this
22
is
years.
this is of course a book that not only helps the couples or anyone else or the married people, but it also helps people who are kind of going to go into the serious
Yeah.
kind of relationship.
To be honest with you,
It's-
like this book is wonderful for everyone, but I think it's more wonderful for like people who are in that stage.
Yes.
I mean, how do you go about it? How do you actually tell the emotions of the man? It's always, I've heard this, I've not been able to be there, but I've heard that, your girls are always like fearful. Oh, am I doing enough? Or I need to do that moment.
It depends
Like,
on the person. Everyone
depends on
has
the
their
person.
yeah,
feelings. so-
absolutely.
Alright.
Sometimes all that kind
discipline
of
is a good
confusion
thing,
comes
all
in.
in all.
Yeah, it's a good book. And
But it's, of course, like Ivan said, it's a good book that all of you need to at least check out.
Absolutely.
Those who are married, those who are single, and those people who want to maybe cross the river a little bit before they actually get there. It's a good book. We actually have a copy here at the office,
Yeah.
so if you're interested in renting it out or coming and hanging out with us and catching more details of the book. But of course, that is all we had for you for Lifestyle today. Endeavor to get the book, and we'll be right back after the break. All right, there you had it for the show today. But don't forget, we'll love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what you're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. Like us on our Facebook page, and do send us your ideas for the program. Check out our Rise and Shine YouTube page, and please subscribe. That's so you can catch all the reports and the shows that we do. Find us on Instagram, and remember, we love to see your pics. Last but not least, check out our website where you can catch every single thing that we do here at Rise and Shine. And lastly, we got ourselves Snapchat where you can go and see every single thing that we do here, behind the scenes. But I am Peace Kwizera.
I am Ivan Magwene. We'll be at same time, same place tomorrow. Do join us then. But for now, it's goodbye.
Bye-bye.